Oh,
Dan's not here.
big shocker.
What happened versus what really happened?
I mean, I think an 18-wheeler flipped over on 65 is what really happened. What really happened? Probably Dan left a little bit too late.
That would have probably got him here in time.
Yeah.
If everything
He
went
was
perfect.
he left in time with nothing to go on to get here on time.
Is
And
there an app that we can like check and see where one is? Reid, I'd love to. Not you. Oh, we have 2 Reids here.
Oh, that's right. Do you spell it the same way? I think we've had this. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The only way.
Yeah. I was walking in and you were referencing, do I ever get burnt out? And I was like, hey, save it. I think that's a really interesting thing to talk about because I think everybody has their version of burnt out. Do you ever get burnt out?
I'm crisp right now, dude.
Is it because
I've been burnt out for a month, and especially because so it's different for I feel like deer hunters as well. Like, and I know that's gonna sound crazy, but like right now is prime deer season. It's like November is when it's the peak of when deer and big deer bucks are moving and running around. So like already we work hard, and I try to write really hard all year to get to this point to where I don't have to write as much and I can be in the woods and take my own time. But so yeah, so like I mean, yeah, if I get in a room where I feel like it's like a waste of my time and it's November, then I'm like double banging my head against the wall that day.
because you're tired from the year?
Because I'm tired. Yes, I have zero ideas. I would rather be in a deer stand. And yeah, I like the mental thing is not there. I'm not sharp. The desire, the drive to write a song is not there. Yeah.
I feel like it's a combination of one, it's a long time without a break because from summer to now is like the longest period. And then 2, you know what either you could be doing or what's about to happen.
Sure.
Meaning you could be in the woods.
Yeah,
And the holidays about to come up when you don't, it's almost break time.
Well, I feel like that's what I was telling Mike walking in. Is like I wish the industry, because it pretty much does this anyway. Like November, December, and half of January, it shuts down. But everybody's still like the rights are on the books and everything. So like we're showing up, but a lot of the times, and a lot of times they cancel. But like a lot of times you just sit there and you write half a song, and it's like a dang 15 round boxing match to get through half a song. And then you leave at the end of the day, you're exhausted. And yeah, that's pretty much how November and December goes.
Mine is usually from waking up early in the morning every day. I hate it. Like, I'll put the little asterisk beside saying, my life's great. That's my asterisk.
Bro, absolutely blessed beyond measure. No doubt.
Thank you for the double asterisk.
Double.
I am always so tired, so sleepy. And a major part of that is that I wake up at 3:45, 4, 4:15, 4:30 every single day. And I'm not a morning person. I've never been a morning person. There's never a morning, and thank you for allowing me the safe space. There's never a morning where I wake up and go, the scene from Oklahoma, oh, what a beautiful morning.
Get it.
Never do I feel good when I wake up, ever. And I have crazy sleep issues. And if I were just to go to my own and on my own devices, I would go to sleep at 2 a.m. and wake up at noon. That's my natural body cycle clock.
God. You are on the wrong.
The wrong.
You're in the wrong game, huh?
Absolutely the wrong thing. And so after a couple of months, especially if I'm like touring doing stand-up or if we're doing Raging Idiots or we were traveling a lot doing a sports show, going to all these, teaming that with the radio show, the morning, it's just, I start to feel almost numb.
Physically?
Yes. And then it ends up being such heavy brain fog that my brain starts to feel numb.
Yeah.
But I've gotten really good at doing it tired. I think that's my greatest skill.
Well, that's what a professional does, right?
Is I can do it.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, baseball players play 180 games a year. And you can't tell me that when they're at 150 that their body's not yelling at them every day to be like, what are we doing? But yeah, they're still performing at the highest level they possibly can. And that's the same. It's the same thing, but you're right. Like, I think when people, as a songwriter, it's all up here, right? Like, it's like my greatest skill is what I come up with in my brain. And that's the way I provide for my family and retire as thinking of things. And man, when it gets to the point where you're right. Brain fog's the right word, where it's just like, it's like driving down a dirt road in the middle of the night and you can't see anything in front of you. And when you start doing that day in and day out, it becomes kind of warfare up there a little bit.
Yeah, to me, it's word searching, and when I start to have that significantly, I know I'm really tired. Meaning, I say sentences for a living, but the only times I just can't find words.
Sure.
But I've gotten really good at pivoting.
Yeah.
And if I'm forgetting what I'm saying, I can at least remember the last 3 words I said, and I can go somewhere else. Like it's all acquired.
Yeah.
It's 'cause I'm a professional.
No doubt.
I'm really good at it.
Ain't no doubt. You
But
are. You're the best. Some would say the best at it.
Yeah, I would hope everyone would. That's my hope. That's my dream, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get burnt out. But then I look at my stepdad who worked at the mill his whole life, right?
Sure.
And we come from like working class places.
Amen.
And if I went and said, "Yeah, I'm burnt out from thinking,"
Right. Don't get it.
he would be like, "What are you talking about?"
No doubt. No doubt.
So I'm pretty precious about where I say that because I understand. And listen, I'm here because of a lot of choices and strategy that I made, and I'm very proud of it, and I work very hard. I think I work harder than anybody else in the entire industry at what I do.
Sure.
Like, I've never met anyone that outworks me. However, it beats going to the mill every
doubt.
day, and I watched him hate his job every day.
Yeah.
But it was a big part of why I chose something that I love to do, was watching somebody who hated doing what he did. There was never a day that he had to go into the mill and get on that freaking forklift that he was like, ready to go have a good day at work.
Yeah.
It was just where and how we grew up. You went to work, you paid the bills.
Yeah, you came home, ate
And
dinner, went to sleep,
did it
watched
again.
a little TV, do it all again.
I just saw your brother walk by. Did
Good.
you tell he knew how to get back here already?
Yeah.
So we won't clap or anything. You know how when a baseball player hits a home run, they're just real quiet when they come back
Yeah,
to the dugout?
Especially if like you don't like the guy and you don't want him to hit a home run.
I know. Let's let him walk in quietly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're already going. Don't worry about us. We had a whole theory, too.
I knew they were already.
Yeah, no,
going.
yeah, come on in. I mean, we're just hanging. Just chatting.
Thanks for showing up, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, take your time to get your jacket off. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, man. It's not like we have a
no,
time
no,
limit
no,
on this
we're-
thing.
No, we're all good. It's not even a thing.
The podcast is about to get worse than it was, Bobby, just so you know.
No, we're just actually going to stop recording now. So now you're lost? I mean,
Walk around that guy.
It's one room. It's one. Maybe this is how why he couldn't get here.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on in. I'd like to
Oh, you in artist mode, man. You look,
buy the mall to buy the clothes or to
looks like it, huh?
have a seat.
Looks like you're ready for a show.
Good to see
What's up,
you.
dog?
Good to see you
What's up,
again.
dog?
Grab 'em up.
Cashmere? What is that? That's a good looking sweater.
Now we're good again. That's all it took. That's
Yeah.
literally all it took. Is
Yeah.
someone compliment my sweater.
Boom. You like the guy.
I could never wear that sweater.
Why not?
I just would look. I just think I would look like. You remember those scrub pads that your mom had?
Like a Brillo type?
Yeah, I'm too big. I'm too big to wear that.
I would disagree. I am a.
Are we going?
We've been.
We've been going for 10 minutes. We've
We've
already
talked about
Being burned
creative
out.
burnout. We talked about what happened to you versus what really happened to you, and we predicted what you're going to say versus the truth. So go ahead and say what happened.
Wait, say the truth or what?
No, we just predicted what you were going to say.
Yeah.
We each have a version of what we think you're about to say.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Jump sent to be here at 2:40, 2:50.
What did you say? Jump set?
Sorry, Jordan.
Jordan, okay.
Our manager.
No, I know
call her
Jordan.
Jumps. Sorry.
I didn't know who jumps.
She's very
That's
jumpy.
Jumps,
Got
too.
it.
She's very like.
Got it.
"Ee, ooh."
You went too nickname too quick.
Sorry.
If you said Jordan, I'd be like, oh, easy.
That's what, like, our nieces and nephews don't call her Aunt Jordan. They call her Jumps.
Yeah, because when I give a nickname, I put a lot of effort into it, and I would say my percentage of sticking nicknames, 85%.
Would you say that your percentage most of the time before referring to someone with their nickname is letting other people know that that's their nickname so they're not confused? Is that about
No, I think maybe it catches because now you remember.
Now I got it. I'll never forget Jumps.
Right. I think
I
it
felt
catches-
stupid for a second. But
Yeah.
Now I'm good.
But now you know.
Now I'm good. So
She tells us to be here at 1:50, so I know for a fact that from my house to Sony ATV.
That's exactly what he said. Keep going. I'm talking about. It's like he wrote you a script. Go ahead.
Really?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like we've been brothers
Yeah.
for 40-something years.
So I knew I could leave at like 1 o'clock and have ample time. So I left at 12:50. And I was like, I'll give an extra 10 minutes.
The math doesn't make sense, but it's even okay. It doesn't
I'm
matter.
real bad at math.
It's
I didn't
okay.
say that right?
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Bro, you left in just enough time to, if nothing goes wrong, you would be here on the time you were supposed to be here.
10 minutes extra. I left with 10 minutes extra.
I don't know, dog.
It was a bad
we were
wreck. It was a
talking.
crazy wreck, man.
We looked online. There was no wreck.
Yes, no. If you had looked online, it would have. I almost screenshot.
Dark web. When you go dark web to see it.
No.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Hopefully because you know how you're late. If you're late to me, if I'm late to anything,
Yeah.
which is rare.
Yeah.
Because mostly I'll put in ample plus ample because I'm really like I care about the people I'm going to go be a guest on the show and stuff. And so,
Me too.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And so, rarely late. But if I am, I'm like I never catch up. Like I get there and I'm so flustered and I never really catch up. I want you to take a second and just catch up. And if you're worried, don't let it go.
Okay.
Just take a second and catch up because, yeah, just get to the place that you're most comfortable. Just sit in it.
I'm back. I'm ready. Good.
Good. Good to see. Hey, by the
Good
way,
to
why'd
see
you guys cancel on me coming to do your podcast?
Why did we?
Jumps.
I want to know their answer. Hey, jumps. Hey, I got it. It caught me.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even know we did.
Yeah, I didn't either.
What were we doing?
We got a lot of stuff going on, Bone.
Oh, we were in Kansas. Is that right?
Do you want to know what I was told?
Oh, yeah.
Please.
Because
I can't wait.
oh no, she remembers the lie now.
No.
No, you remember the lie.
This is real.
Okay.
Okay, so
We were embarrassed to have him in our old studio.
that's so no. There would be no reason for that to be a real story. Do you know the dumps that I have worked in?
Is
and
that what
worked
you
at?
heard, though?
So what I heard two stories.
Okay. Man, I love this.
I think it was. I know. Now that you're saying it, I think it was right in the transition to
I'm
our.
going to pick one way to be offended, so we can let the story be told, and I can pick my way to be offended.
Great.
Because there's going to be a
I'm
way.
with that.
'cause
I'm with that.
I can't not be offended. In
I
every
can't
way.
wait.
So I was looking forward to it. I cleared out a couple of hours of my afternoon because I'm like, I like talking with those guys. I think you guys are really good at what you do, and also I don't have to like work so hard. Where
Yeah.
sometimes
Totally.
you got to carry the whole freaking thing.
Oh.
And if you're already tired, it sucks.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
One
That's
of
what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, one of the things I like about you guys, I don't have to worry about that.
No, you don't.
And so I was like, oh, I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to go, because I watch you guys' clips. You see, grab your little guitar, your little thing. And I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to go. Maybe I'll take my guitar, you know? And so I took my guitar to work in the backseat of my car.
No way, man.
And I get a call morning of, hey,
It was morning.
they said they're moving studios and they don't want you to be in their old studio. And I'm like, do they not know like every part of my career? Like it's only been working out of like basically old camper shells.
I think you think we're in a little more control of this thing than we actually
No, that's
are.
fine. I'm still.
Jeez.
See, look, we got like parts of the ceiling falling as we talk here.
This feels like our podcast.
Yeah, that's the reason we didn't bring you to ours.
And so I was like, oh man. So I just came home and had a couple hours that I don't normally. And I try to stay efficient. Wasn't very efficient that day, and I got canceled.
heart broke.
I got canceled on really close to my time.
How much of that is true?
I took my guitar and everything.
I don't think
I believe you.
Yeah. And I was told that you guys you were moving studios or something. I was like, that doesn't matter if it works.
I think I had a baby too, right? Did I have a baby?
That-
He ended up having his baby on the day the podcast was supposed to
Oh
happen.
yeah. So even if we hadn't canceled, we would have.
We've just been reading that again.
It'd been like double cancel.
I've been so much.
So what you're telling me?
It'd have been better than what
You're
it was.
telling. I can look at my calendar, and if that date matches, do you know your baby's birthday?
She probably does.
You can't tell him everything.
I have so many babies, Bobby.
Dog, welcome
Oh
to our
my
welcome to our
God.
life, dude.
I know my daughter's birthday is 9/19/19, so I can remember that. When were our other ones born?
Well, this is not the game I was looking to play.
Okay, so
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
play your. This is your
No,
thing.
no, they're not even a game. I was just like,
What's the-
I didn't. There was no baby thing. If I'd been told that, I'd been like, oh, cool. But instead, it was, they're embarrassed their studios, and I'm like, day of.
If you got canceled on day of, I don't even know your team, but I think that's on your team because we don't cancel day of.
Mm.
We kind of know that as songwriters, you don't cancel day of
Well,
unless it's like
Unless you're having a
crazy.
baby.
Unless you're having a baby.
But then you say we're having a baby.
Are we in a fight?
No, not at all. Because I wouldn't have had you here.
Oh, I would
Trust me.
love that.
Trust
I
me,
love
I'd have
those.
Hollywood blackballed you guys immediately. You'd have never written another song in this town again.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that, Bobby. We're going back to what we were talking about earlier.
Gosh, don't do that.
How much are you guys doing this now?
Our thing or just external podcast?
Yeah, great question. Because I should ask it better. Seriously, your thing.
I would say average once a week, on average.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we might do 2 or 3 a week and then just not do one for a week or two or
Yeah.
something basically.
It feels like we're going on like it feels like we're either in it hardcore and doing 2 a week for 2 months, or we're taking a break and not doing it for a month.
Have you identified the look in people's eyes when you know they're exhausted?
They're pretty much just always
doing this more so than writing, because I know you can tell it when they're writing. You can just tell by.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'll say this. I can tell it when they walk in that a lot of them are not wanting to be there. But by the time
I think that's unfair. I don't think they don't want to be there.
Well, no. I'm just saying, like, it's like media day. It's like the start of, because we record at 9:00 in the morning. So like when we catch artists, they have other things happening. It's usually like a media day,
or had just had something happen last night.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
So I will say it makes me feel good to see their excitement level and their involvement in our show and in the podcast, like do this trajectory as the podcast goes.
That has seemed to happen every time. If I'm being honest, I don't think we've had anybody that's really just like been like this the entire time. Usually, and I think that's an important part of connecting with people outside of just like podcasting. Like part of it is just like finding something that the other party is excited about.
That is absolutely the whole key to all of this.
I agree.
Is that if you can get them excited and talk about something they want to talk about, they'll give you the grace. Yeah, they'll give you the grace to talk about whatever you want to talk about too.
Sure.
But you just got to get them some. There'll be times where if I'm like, okay, listen, I know they're a freaking huge Packers fan, but we'll lead with the Packers, or we'll do 15 minutes on the War of 1812 if like they're in
it.
That's like a Red Bull.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah.
And it opens up a lot of other conversations as well. Like the one that keeps coming to my mind is Terry Clark. We had her on. She's awesome.
She's awesome. Yeah. I had no idea how awesome she was because I never spent any time with her until she came back around.
Yeah.
And she did a radio show on like another station here for a while. I didn't know her then.
Yeah.
Like she hosted it?
Yeah, she was a part of the team, right?
Huh. Yeah.
So I didn't know her. But once she started, she's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, she's great. And she,
what did I do?
We just said the exact same thing twice. But she, I think came in and was like, kind of didn't know. You know what I mean? Because a lot of this, it's not like they get prepped that they're coming into this thing. They kind of just like Reid was saying, it's like they got 3 media days in a row. They're jam packed. They're popping from one studio to the next kind of deal. And so when they walk in with us, they're like, hey, and they're in their full, like she had a cowboy hat on and the whole thing. And then I think we started talking about fishing, and she just like completely opened up, and she was very professional. And that's really, I think, what you're kind of trying to break through, right? Not that they're not polite. They're always polite and happy to be there, and whatever. The thing is, the switch is on, right? And so if you can kind of find a way to cut through that, I'm talking to you like you don't know this, but if you for us, it's as far as what we've learned, if you can find a way to cut through that media training and get to something where they just like can't stop talking about it, and then that turns into, wow, I trust these guys and appreciate their ability to listen and not just completely dominate this thing.
That's the last thing we want it to be too, is any type of like media thing that they've got to do.
Yeah, gross.
Like
you can have that. That's
how
you,
long
right?
do you sort of?
Yeah.
Even we've become so particular.
Oh, have you?
To the point where, I don't mean to interrupt your point, Reid.
Oh no, you're good.
I was just going to say, there's a start of every interview, then there's the real start of every interview.
I agree with that.
And there are times, especially, and we don't edit hardly at all, but we're not too good to edit. Especially if somebody says something that they're not proud of, I have no problem taking it out.
Same.
Like we're not trying to gotcha.
No, we're the same way.
Yeah, if something doesn't feel good, we'll pull it. But also, if there's something that really starts the interview strong, we may take that and just take that and put that near the beginning and leave everything else the same and just take some of that buzz and put it at the end.
Noted.
And not really take anything out.
Do you get tired of like the opportunities that come from this thing? Like, come host this, come do this. Like, that's the thing that's terrifying to me, is because we even got asked. I'll just go ahead. I don't know if I can say this right. Can I say this? Okay, well, I won't say who it was.
No, we'll cut it out if you can.
We got asked to do a thing that would be like admirable to do. But because it was going to be like super red carpet, hey, tell us about your new single. Hey, tell us
Like
about
work the red carpet for CMAs is what I would guess it. Something like that. If not,
something like
exactly
that. Something like that.
Okay.
And I was just, me and Reid were just like, hey, Jumps, like, that's not our gig, dude. Like, I know we should probably go do this, but like, it's not our, I just feel like in here, there's so much of a genuine connection that when you try to go, do you feel that? Like, once you've connected with somebody in here and then you got to do like a red carpet thing, is it feel funky?
I hate red carpets so knowing that I don't like to do them because at first I did a lot of hosting them. Then there was a threshold where they thought I was more famous that I should just walk them instead of talk them, right? So there was a certain point in my career when that happened, when they stopped unless it was on, like I hosted it for E, right? Like I hosted the Grammys for E. They asked me to do that because I think that was a pretty cool job.
Yeah, right,
absolutely.
sure.
But mostly they'll say, well, you walk the carpet. And so I'll go walk. And the thing that I hate generally about red carpets is I know where I am in the ladder of whatever fame is. And I know that I'm at the low end of everybody that's at that carpet at that time. And it's like you're at a party with people who are looking for the next coolest person because they're not your friends that are interviewed. You only know a third of them.
Sure.
Right.
And their job is to get the biggest and best people. And if they're talking to me, I'm going to be giving them the best bites, but who cares? If they can get Aldine or that's what they want. So the whole time, my shoulder's being looked over by them or their producer to see who else is coming. So I don't like that vibe anyway. However, I did like hosting it better because I was so different than everybody else.
For sure.
And that would be the only reason I would challenge you to at least do it twice. Don't just do it once, because you'll do it once and be like, that's totally weird.
Yeah.
If you do it twice and you hate it, never do it again. But what's great and what will be a strength for you guys is what makes that easier is the relationships you already have with the people.
Yeah.
And all that surface bullcrap is gone immediately. Even if you have 3 minutes, and you're already at the start, not the start.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would challenge you to do it.
Okay.
Because it'll be uncomfortable for you and you'll grow at just this world.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you do, you're presenting a freaking award,
Mm-hmm.
On the award show.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we did that, and you told us to be very nervous about it
Yeah.
before we walked out.
What
You remember
award
that?
was it?
iHeart.
Oh, that. Yeah.
You remember we were walking
you were
up.
like,
I was like,
you're
be
like,
real
is your heart about to beat out your
is
chest?
your
It should
stomach
be.
hurting?
Was that an
Because
award or festival?
millions of people are watching this on
It's festival.
Netflix. Whatever.
Yeah, it was on Hulu,
Oh, it was a festival.
Yeah.
but it's festival. Yeah, it's still a thing. Like, congratulations, you did a thing. But that was a great. See, that's what I'm saying. It's slowly going to be a build of that. So if you're turning it away just because it doesn't feel right, nothing's going to feel right other than what you're already doing. Because
Very good
that's
point.
comfort,
I think that goes into life application there, probably.
probably.
Yeah.
And I should be better at it in life.
Same.
But
Maybe
I'm
you
good at it in work. Like, I'll try anything and bomb because I know if I do it a second, third time, I won't bomb anymore.
Yeah.
But I think you would like doing the red carpet because it'll feel so weird.
Huh.
But you'll be better than 95% of the people. One, because you'll know who the people are.
Mhm.
The other bad thing is if I'm walking it, they have to like look at the little picture grid to figure out who I am. I don't even want to see them do that.
No,
So
like, we got.
so I'll look, or if they cannot figure it out.
Yes,
Like if I'm
best.
doing an LA one, they have no idea who I am. They're like, "Well, so here you are. So how's this all going?"
How you doing in your thing you do?
Tell us about your favorite part of the thing that you
and
do
you know
here.
they have no idea. And if I see them trying to look to see who it is, I will try to make sure they don't see me trying to see them, as just like a courtesy of, listen, I know I'm not famous.
Yeah.
I
I
know.
shouldn't be here.
I'm not
but-
mad at you for not
Right.
knowing.
And it's like, I know that you have a little bit of time with a lot of these people, and I just happen to come at a time where you had no person. Like, I get that. But I'd like to see you guys do that because I think you'd be really good at it, and people would come to you. That's a great thing about when I do them too. Like, all my friends, they want to. If they're down and
They're
there's
like, oh, jeez.
there's 500 people in a row to talk.
Yeah.
They will be like, dude, let me come
Yeah,
talk to
because
you.
it's a comfortable thing, and they know they can trust you, and you're not going to.
You won't be comfortable, but they will be.
Yeah.
So, are you guys making any money doing this yet? Some.
Well,
Are you? I was talking to somebody. I went, and I won't say what show it was. I rarely go on podcasts because I feel like I got a lot to say, but I'm gonna say it on my stuff that I own, right?
Sure.
I was gonna do one. They canceled on me day of. Studio was like getting rebuilt.
Those
It's a
mother-
crazy day. I know. I did another show recently. First one I've done in a long time, and I really like what this person is doing. And I was talking after because I know it's impossible to make money doing this.
Yeah.
It's like writing songs.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
being an artist. It's impossible to make money doing this until you get lucky and
Yeah.
somebody figures out that you're good.
Ah.
You know, because you got to be good.
Absolutely.
And it's timing, and all the variables come together. But I was like, "You making any money yet?" And I knew the answer was no, but I want to let him say it. He was like, "No, not yet." He was like, "What's the key?" And I was like, "The key is just showing up and being consistent, and not really, and saying it 10,000 times is barely saying it once, because nobody hears anything ever,
Wow.
ever."
That's exactly to me how songwriting works. And I always say this, it's like, once you do get to a place where something that you've created or something that you believed in for a long time makes you a little bit of scratch, can't nobody tell you nothing, dude. Can't nobody tell you nothing, because what you believed in opened the door to that. And so once you do that, you're like, okay, I created this thing that nobody believed in, and now it's like putting socks on my kids. Can't nobody tell you nothing, dude.
Yeah.
So are you making any money yet?
Not on this.
What are you waiting for? A threshold of streams?
Pretty much, right?
That's a yeah.
I mean,
That
but
first
like real
threshold,
money.
it's the hard. Are you getting any money at all? Is my question. Not real money, because that's defined differently.
Yeah,
by-
we're making some
Yeah,
money.
we're making some money.
That's my only question.
Yeah,
Like,
make
are
some
you
money.
literally getting a
Yeah,
check?
yeah.
Yes.
That is such, and you would say this to new songwriters. That's a massive success here,
Sure.
because that's the hardest thing to do, is to make any money.
Any at all.
Because that means you've had to show up over and over and over again, making no money.
Correct.
Like, unless you're already famous and they're signing you because of your name,
Mhm.
like Jake Gyllenhaal starts a podcast. He ain't gonna do it start a feed with no subscribers and make no money.
Right.
So someone will probably sign him. Or it's like like you guys had to do it. It's not like you guys are massive artists.
Right.
You had to do it over and over again
Right.
at a high level
Mhm.
and so that is like, let me compliment you. That is the hardest thing to do. Not make a lot of money, make
Thank you.
any money.
I mean, we don't have like a presenting sponsor.
It doesn't matter.
But we're
All that
we're
comes.
rocking.
As
We're
soon
rocking.
as you get that first trickle, turns into a stream, but that trickle is the freaking hardest thing to get.
Yeah.
Because people don't work hard enough to get the trickle.
I do believe that I believe in it enough that we could make real money at it.
Yeah, like-
somehow.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like, you see all these podcast deals going on with Caller Daddy and all these Travis Kelce things. Like,
bajillions of dollars.
that's how much I believe in what we do together and hosting our podcast. Like, I believe in it that much. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I think and believe that if we continue to do it the way we're doing it, that it could potentially get to a point where it could be one of the biggest things in the network.
You have to have irrational dreams.
Oh, come on.
Because
That's great. That's a great
irrational
thing.
things don't happen unless you have irrational
Ain't no
dreams.
doubt.
Like, there's no
I
way
love that, dude.
somebody from where I come from is going to even move here to do anything near like this. But
That's what fuels the fire, right?
I'm psychotic.
Mm.
So, and if I don't believe in me, why should anybody else believe in me? And like, I believe in me too much.
Yeah.
But you have to be nuts. But again, same thing with any sort of art.
Yep.
There's no money in it
Until there is.
until there is.
Yeah.
Totally. Feast or famine.
I was texting with a friend. I was going to bring this up to you guys. Who I don't
Like,
I'm not. No, I do like him. He's my friend.
Friends I don't like.
I'm not in the music world at all anymore. As far as I don't program anything. I don't pick music to be played on.
Huh.
And like, they pay me to go be compelling.
Huh.
That's it. Go say stuff.
Yeah.
Get people to care.
Mhm.
Wherever I am, if I'm in here, if I'm doing the radio show, doing the sports show, like, be compelling. That's how I make my money.
Mhm.
Now, when we do the live terrestrial radio show, which is still quite massive, there are songs that are played. I don't program those songs. Now, I can take a song and just put it in.
You
And
can?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I don't. I do that like once every month and a half or so. If I'm
Yeah.
just like, this song's awesome. And it's more like,
just something
I'm-
you believe in.
yeah, it's like I'm being compelling about that song at that moment.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I heard this is super cool, but you guys will like it, right? So
Yeah.
it wasn't like that when I moved here, where I was breaking artists left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the environment's not really conducive to that, and that is not where I can't own that, because it's not my art,
Yeah, true.
And I'm
But
not
you're appreciating it.
sure, but I can't own being the guy that breaks music,
Yeah.
because I can't own something that's not mine.
Mm-hmm.
Did you own it back in the day?
Because I was the only one that had a platform big enough to do it.
For sure.
Now everything's so fractured, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm on like 11 platforms, but any one single one, I can't do that anymore.
Mm.
I could if I put all my effort into it, but I don't. Right. So anyway, one of my friends, I don't. So all that to say is, I never hear new music. It's just not my world. I don't pick songs. and I mean this in the best way, I don't care. I listen to it, and I have a lot of friends in the industry, but I don't like, no one sends me a song and goes, hey, we're going to release this as a single. What do you think? Never.
Yeah.
No one's done that in 2 years to me
Hmm.
because they know it doesn't matter, right?
Okay.
So one of my friends today, who I'm very close to, we were walking together, and he has a number one. He's about to have a second number one, and he knows I know how the games work.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, I think that we have picked our date to strategically go for number one. And, some people drop off. They all get in their little, you know how it goes around here.
Indeed.
And so I'm like, that's freaking awesome that your team is saying this is the date, because that's as close as you can get to getting it,
Mm-hmm.
that you've decided on the push date to getting it. And he's like, it's awesome. I said, so do you have what's your next song? And this is somebody I hang out with like twice a week, but we never talk music. And not because we avoid it, but because we're like,
Actual friend.
yeah, we're like playing trucks.
Mhm.
And he was like, I just wrote it, just cut it. And he said, will you listen to it? And I got that old feeling that I used to hate when people would say, hey, would you listen to my song? Because mostly it was, would you listen to it and then play it, right? I would feel like everybody was trying to use me for something.
Sure.
But my first 5 years, that's all I felt. I didn't trust anybody. I was wrong about a lot of people.
But you're probably right about a lot of people.
But
too.
I was right some, sure. And I got burned really bad, and I think that's what made me overcorrect.
Yeah.
And just keep it. But he sent me the song, and for a second I had that PTSD of, oh my God. And I'd have that mini conversation with myself, like, this is your really friend. This is a real life friend. Like, if you need a kidney, you give him one friend. And I listened to the song, and in my head I was already imagining the text I was going to have to send. Oh wow, man! Hey, I can't wait to see what this does. In my head, that's what I was imagining, because that means it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I listened to it. It was so good, like I wanted to cry. And I don't think it was, and the song was good. The song is really good. But I don't think it was because of just the song being really good. I think it was like all that I just talked about. I was able to kind of kick all those feelings that I had about people using me, so I don't do this, and I do this, and I keep these boundaries up. And then I have this friend who's been grinding so hard, and like, I started to get tears in my, and I'm by myself, and I'm like, I'm like having this weird moment. And I listen to the song, and the song is so good. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to say who it is. And so I text him back. I'm going to write verbatim, because I think as songwriters and just artists in general, you guys will relate.
I'm excited about this.
I said, I don't know the guy that wrote that song, is what I replied. I said, I know the mediocre pickleball player that I beat the crap out of, but I don't know that guy who wrote that song. Like, that's awesome. And sometimes you need to be reminded how awesome your friends are. And he wrote, thank you. It's probably the favorite thing I've ever written. A personal thing about his family. And then I just wrote a couple things about it. I said, hey, the concept was great. The wordplay was awesome. Sonically, whoever's singing the harmonies, like, so technically I just did a little quick evaluation. I said, gets to the hook quick, which is like a thing. And he says to me, hoping it's going to be the one that opens the door all the way for us. And as he was sending that, I said, I was dreading listening to it because I was afraid it'd be fine. And I would just say, can't wait to see this song do its thing. But back to, he said, hoping it was going to be the one that opens the door for us. And I feel like I said this because I have felt that way many times about many things that I was going to do. And there's not a door. There's never a door. There's never a door. And I said, the door will never be open all the way. It's just a different chase to a different door. But you wrote an excellent song. Regardless of what it does on some chart based on 1,000 variables, that is an amazing song. Acknowledging it now is extremely valuable, because it won't be up to you or even up to your art if it's going to be a number one. It's all by chance. I love you, buddy. And he writes a message back. And it was just the idea of, again, here's my friend, and you guys have to create art out of your thoughts and your heart and your soul, and then you have to go and just let people judge it.
Yeah, but I think that's that's a really, I mean, like, you can tell that whoever, even if it wasn't you, if someone had just read me that text message of what they replied, that's somebody that has grown up in the business. You know what I mean? Like, how the business works. And I think there for a while, when you're starry-eyed, you have this concept that you're going to be able to release this song, and that basically, based on how people feel about it, it's going to perform at a certain level. And then maybe you even do that. Maybe you even have one that connects, and that's what brings you to the town, right? We've seen that a lot. And, you know, to when you kind of see behind the curtain on the game of it, it's a different deal. So to have someone who knows that and is able to shed, and I know we're talking way inside here. I hope it's
No, but
not
that's all.
too
That's
inside.
why we do this. Talk inside as possible.
Yeah. I just think it's cool, and it probably meant a lot to him to hear it from somebody who has done that, been a part of it, and honestly kind of like dissociated themselves from that and go, this is my honest opinion, and whether it does anything or not, like, great tune, man.
And
That's what,
And that means a lot to creatives.
no
honestly.
doubt. Yeah, because like it feels like in that moment, like put the lights, put the radio shows, put the radio, put everything aside. A great song was heard and appreciated and moved somebody the way it is created to do.
Period.
before he starts, or she, whoever it is, starts second
Yeah.
guessing. Maybe the song wasn't as good as I thought it was.
Oh, he or she thought that when they sent it. Because, I mean, I do that all the time. It's like, man, this song is a banger, dude. I know this is awesome. And then I get in the truck with Reid, and I'm like, check this tune out. And I play it, and like halfway through the first verse, I'm like, oh, shouldn't have said that. Oh, he probably doesn't like that part. This should get a reaction. It didn't. Okay, we're you know what I mean? And before you know it, you're cutting it off halfway through the second verse going, it ain't that good. You know, we'll see what happens.
And you've assigned his thoughts unfairly
Totally unfairly.
on you, and he may not even have those thoughts. And
Totally.
And where I feel, and I'm empathetic, I should say, toward artists who create anything, is when you have to put something out that people have to consume in order to have it feel and be a success. Like, that's a vulnerability that you don't get to control almost.
Will you explain that? I'm curious as to say that one more time. I think I understood you, but I want to make sure that I did.
What did I say?
You're saying that when an artist has to put something out
So
in order to cause a reaction,
you have,
whether they
you have to create something, right?
sure.
And you have to be vulnerable to create it at times.
Oh, I got you.
Vulnerable to have it out and be judged.
For sure.
And then you are letting its worth and value be acknowledged by the amount of streams it gets or the money it
Determined.
makes.
Sure.
And
And it's subjective in the first place anyway. So it's not like hitting a good golf shot, because a good golf shot's a good golf shot.
or running fast.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Or winning a race. Right. Like, it's not that. You can create. I could have written the best song in the world.
May
today.
have.
No, I didn't. But one of those days I could have the best song in the world right now in my catalog, and literally just because it never gets cut, no one will ever hear about it.
Yeah, buried under thousands and thousands of other mediocre songs.
And I didn't want him to ever, and he will or he won't at some point be like, maybe that song wasn't as good as I thought it was. My whole thing to him was, one, there is not some magical door that ever opens.
Mm-mm.
Ever. It does not matter.
Mm-mm.
Like, it doesn't matter which friend. It can be, and I'll talk about people that I know really well, like a Luke Bryan, who, that's it. He's the Mecca.
For sure.
He's achieved everything.
Totally.
I don't even think with him you'd go, hey, Luke, you done it all. He'd go like, yeah, but I didn't. There's never that door.
Hmm.
There are always opportunities that hopefully enrich your life in a way that's meaningful.
Mhm.
And that was the first thing. It's like, he's like, I just going to open up so many doors. There are times where I've not gotten things and it's opened massive doors for me.
Mm.
And then the second thing was, well, you did's awesome. This song's awesome. And I hope you don't, if it's not successful, let that make you think it's not awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And just like acknowledge it right now. This
Yeah,
second,
you got to live
it's
in that
awesome.
moment
Yeah.
that you're talking about.
And like
Yeah.
own that.
Appreciate it.
Because it's all. Anyway, there was a whole.
That means a lot. I
thing
mean,
today.
I would assume that would mean a lot. I mean, I've had people do that with me as well. You know, Reid too. We've been writing songs forever, and to have those kind of champions, even if it's not somebody in the business, it means a lot. You know, for a creative to hear that, hey man, that spoke to me regardless of what.
Well, it pours a little fuel on the fire. Like, I mean, those days happen in the room, songwriting. Like, you can have tons of days where you just, like I was saying earlier, like you just feel like you're banging your head against the wall. You don't know what the purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
But you get in that one room where a really great idea comes up and everybody is in that idea in the same place. And you create a song that you love, that you believe. And yeah, you'd love for it to get cut in the world to hear it, but at the end of the day, you don't care because you created something that you're proud of. Like those are special, and it's the same thing as that moment that you had listening to that song. Is like you got to live in that moment for that day because you don't get a lot of those.
If I remove it being somebody that I know, love, trust
Yeah.
as a friend, and I just think it's very rare now that I hear a song, we're a bit jaded, right? We're in the middle of it.
Whew,
We're
a bit.
we're creating whatever
Yeah.
hourly. It's rare that I hear anything because I hear a lot of great things that just does like a little
Sure, man.
that's it's and I'll even remove this and I'll ask you that, like, what's the last song you've heard that you're like, oh God?
Oof. What are we basing it on? Are we basing it on?
It doesn't matter, and
Okay.
I'll vamp and I'll give you a story, give you a second to think. This is a great interviewing tip, by the way. If you see your person struggling, tell a story.
Did you think I was struggling?
No, but
Okay.
but I know you want to have a good answer for this.
I
So,
think I
so I
already
don't want
have
to
it.
rush you to a bad answer
I hear you.
because I'll give bad answers sometimes,
Sure.
just so there's not dead air.
Well, do you want to?
No, if you're good, go.
I mean, I'm good. I think it's probably the same for both of us. So, and you obviously know this. We're so swamped with music constantly that there's a regular hum in our ears of what's commercial, who's cool, what's popular at this moment, why is this guy successful? And there's little blips that pop up, like, oh, this is cool, this is having a moment. Oh, check this out. And I'm not dogging anybody that's had those blips. Like, I think, and they're great, and they can lead to like an actual career. Like right now, I think that Ella Langley, Riley Green tune is like having a bit of a moment. There's some like sex appeal to it. It's also a very well written song. It's also done by two really great singers, and it's blipping, right? It's doing the thing. And I think because of that, people are being introduced to Ella. People are being introduced to Riley, and they're diving in more. So it's a good thing. But and that song was even kind of moving to me just because of the out of the box sound, like even sonically that tune had. And I love both of those people very much. But the one that got me recently, Reid, you gotta help me with this, was the I don't remember what key we do this in, but it's like
Did you guys write this one?
no.
Because that'd have been cool if you were like, this is the one I wrote. Sucks
I
my
wish
air out
we
of me.
wrote
Yeah.
this that I sleep
Baby, yeah. I never show up late to work, and I don't drink whiskey. I don't know how it feels to hurt. Oh, and I ain't been lonely since you said goodbye. Wish I could say I miss you, but you know I never lie.
I mean, come on, dude.
That's a great song.
That Zach Top
Yeah.
tune
It's incredible.
got me in my ears, dude. And I was like, okay, so immediately I can't just like enjoy it as a listener, right? I have to start breaking down the reason. And so immediately I'm like, sounds like something from my childhood. Also very quality lyric, also very appeasing tone, right? And so when I stick all those things together, I realize like I'm a child of the 90s. My ears are ears of the 90s. And that didn't feel like somebody chasing something that sounded like the 90s. It just felt like that guy was that thing. And so for me, that felt very genuine, and that's the breakdown of why that song like kind of hit me in my guts. But yeah, that's one of the most recent ones. I like what that kid's doing. I like that he's smoking cigarettes behind the stage and they're catching him. I like that he's riding the damn scooter.
He's authentic, right? You believe that guy. It's not a facade. It's not fake.
I mean, honestly, I don't care if it is, because it's so refreshing to see a young kid excited about the business and the music that I'm in. I'm in. I'm in on Zach Top for sure.
Man, mine was the other night watching Steven Wilson Jr. I saw this clip of him doing live at the print shop. He did an interview and did some songs, but I got onto this interview and watched the whole thing, and he played a song called "I'm a Song" at the end of it. That it's like, I'm there for this. I'm there when you need this. And I think I mean, I sat there and Jordan looked at me. She was like, "I've never seen you." What'd you say? Like,
You don't get excited
like
about music.
right? Like it takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to get excited about a song anymore,
Yeah.
or an artist or anything like that. But man, when this guy played this on this nylon, just ripped up guitar that had stickers all on it, and
Yeah,
it
he's
was
cool.
it was shredded. Like
He's a cool guy.
you just, I mean, you couldn't help but not be in the tune, because he pulled you in with the authenticity that he was singing with. The lyric was great, the sound was great, but like you just could not like it, and that's what it kind of blew me away. It blew me away. And another one that comes to mind was Alison Krauss and Union Station live at the Kentucky Theater when the first time I heard The Boy Who Wouldn't Go Hoe Corn. I mean, there's those songs that just do something to you. And I can remember I was in college. I listened to that song for about 3 hours because I don't know what it was about it.
But as far as new music, he's talking about new.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it could be. I mean, the two songs that I think of are drastically different and for different reasons. But one was for just how catchy it was, and this one's been 7 or 8 years now, and then one is from like a month ago. But I remember the first time that I think it was probably probably the highway or something. I was flipping on because I have friends at work over there, and so I'll listen. Like they do evenings or whatever. I'll flip over there, and the first time that I heard "Meant to Be," I was like, "This is the catchiest thing that's ever happened in the history of the world." And I was like, and then you start listening, you're like, oh, then you start doing the thing where like, oh wow, it's so simple. But it's like, well, if it was so simple and easy, everybody would have done this already. But just hearing that over and over and how I was like, my brain is warped. Not the message, it's a pop song, but it's so freaking catchy. Like
it's like candy to your ears.
Dude, the greatest candy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember looking at the freaking radio going, I don't know what that is, but like that's it.
Yeah.
The other was probably 3 months ago. I'm going to play you some of it.
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, she's 12. This is the weird part about it, that she's 12.
Okay.
And like, what in the world does a 12-year-old know? That's what you think as an
That's
adult.
kind of the beauty of it, right?
It
too?
absolutely is.
Yeah.
And it's not like,
How'd you come across it?
well, I hang out with a bunch of 12-year-olds. I'm so wish you wouldn't ask that. Sorry.
Isn't your wife 12 or something?
She is 11. She turns 12 next month.
Ooh, calm down.
So I'm going to, I'm just going to, again, not on a record label. And I can tell you how I know, how I found her. That sounds weird too. But how I am familiar with her music.
Just play it, man.
Thank you. Thank you, God. I just needed someone to like give me
play
that rant.
Hurry
Get
up.
out. Okay, here we go.
Feels Taylor Swifty.
Very, very much influenced, right?
This is some Casey Musgraves.
And then there's here like and she's 12 and
Somebody's doing some good work already, though.
she wrote it. Like she wrote the song, and it's like I think at times as adults we can unsimplify things
Oh, maybe all the time, dude.
by going, well, if I say it just how I feel it, people are gonna think I'm stupid.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a caveman,
Or it's not going to rhyme.
When whoever that is, that's the only way they know how to do it.
and that's why it's so. That's Iris Copperman, Ross's daughter,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
and so we're very close to that family.
Yeah.
I didn't know Iris was good.
That's really good.
We went to watch her, her first ever show that she played. Like we're close enough. We went to watch it because Ross and who was he with? They were doing like a 2-person songwriter thing, and so
Popped her up to sing something.
4 songs,
Nice.
and like she was so good.
Yeah, she sounds
Like
great.
I got tears in my like she was actually good in person too. But hearing that something that's not that is so simple because they didn't avoid being simple is what's so refreshing to me.
Yeah. We say it all the time. I mean, I think I said this in the last 2 or 3 days. It feels like it comes up all the time, but it's as a songwriter creatively, it's almost like you have to learn how to do all the things that fit within the commercial box, and you spend so much time of your life doing those that to become something that somebody to become a person that writes songs that somebody wants to cut, you almost have to like learn it and then just completely push it to the side, because those unadulterated things that just come straight from the heart usually end up connecting. And I think as commercial songwriters, sometimes we go, I don't understand why that's hitting. I mean, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. But man, when you break it down, connecting with people can be extremely simple or it can be extremely complex. Like that, what I heard, to me, that's extremely simple. She's 12 years old. It should be. But the production is money. I mean, I'm sure Ross is drilling that to them. You know what I mean? Like just dialing it right in.
It's easy to chase things too. Or you keep going, my bad.
Well, I was about to literally say that same thing. When you're that young, you don't even know to chase things.
That's what I'm saying.
You're just like
or
creating.
that naive. Like there's a beauty that
you don't know what success and successes are not success. You haven't done anything that you love that somebody said no to. You know what I'm saying? So like it's easy to look at the things that are successful. Look at the Morgan Wallens and the Luke Combses and the Lainey Wilsons right now and go, hey, I want to sound like that. I want to write those songs. I want to sing those songs. And when you get into that game, man, you're doing what everybody else is already doing. You're already a car way back in that line. You ain't leading that pack, man.
Can I tell you my favorite thing recently that I saw, man? And it's just been honestly punching me in the gut, because I feel like, I'm being very honest right here, I feel like for a while now, I feel like I've been chasing the money because I didn't have anything at all when I was first creating. And then you get a little bump here, you get a little success here. Before you know it, you want more of that, more of that, more of that. And before you know it, you're centered on that, so much so that, and that can be replaced. Maybe you put success or awards or whatever. It can be a multitude of different things. For me, it was like trying to chase the money. And I saw something, man, and it was this guy saying, if you try to chase money, you'll never catch it. You'll never catch it because money's always moving, right? But if you create the art, that's what money chases. Money chases the art. So like if you're creating something that's art, the money's that's what
true to
that's
you.
what it wants anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're trying to just create something for money, you'll always be behind it.
Yeah, and I'd venture to say most of the songs that get cut in this town from guys who aren't like the Gorleys and like you can just write a song and go get it cut. Like most of the songs that are breaking songwriters and songwriters are having success with are the ones that are their story and are true to their life.
Yeah. I'm not saying that every song has to be like that, but yeah, seems to be what connects.
No, absolutely. I've got to know, and I'm not good at doing it every day, and I feel like that's part of the key to the kingdom of this thing is like if you can go into a room every day and write about what's on your mind, what's on your heart, what do you believe in, what's true to you that only you know, I feel like you're setting yourself way more up for success. And, you know, and so like there's a note in my phone and I scroll past it all the time, but it says like, hey, what do you want to say today? Like, what do you believe in today? Write about that, because that's the song that's going to make you feel good and want to do it again tomorrow. 2, it's probably the song that's going to have the best chance of being successful.
I had no cuts when I wrote with Tom Douglas, and he took me to Subway. We were getting a sandwich, and we hadn't done anything that morning. He hadn't gotten on any songs that morning, and I remember saying to him, man, he was like, so how's it going? And I was like, I'm terrified. And he's like, why? And I said, because I've been at this publishing company for 5 years now, and I know how companies work. And I know that somewhere there's somebody so high up, and eventually they're going to run across my name and they're going to go, well, this guy's been here for this long and there's been 0 cuts out of this thing. Like eventually as a business owner, you go, that guy's got to go, man. I mean, you know, over time, it's like if you're not producing, you got to go.
And let's be real, it's a business.
ROI. It's
Sure.
just return on investment.
Sure,
Yeah. Sure.
Totally. And so I'm telling him that, and I said, but honestly, man, I feel very confident in my body of work and I feel extremely not confident in the fact that I'm not making any money. And he was like, Dan, I'm going to be honest with you. He said, the body of work is more valuable than the money coming in. He's like, if you can just continue to add quality art to that body of work, it'll catch up.
I mean, the key is surviving while
Totally.
Dude, absolutely.
it's surviving, being able to pay your bills while feeling good about what you're making.
And learning the craft.
Yeah, and you will.
And showing
if
up.
you're- Yeah, yeah. No, I mean,
All of these things work together.
Yeah.
because I think it would be if someone's listening to this and they're like, well, I'm broke, so it's easy for you guys to say, yeah, we've been broke too.
Oh,
Dude.
my.
I've been houseboat broke, son.
Yeah.
So broke,
Like,
dude.
And so you're not
Yeah.
listening to people that came up with a bunch of family money.
Not at
No.
all.
So
No, sir.
when we say like just keep creating the art, we also understand like you got to wait tables at the same time.
Everybody
Amen.
told us that.
You got to move
too.
furniture, dude.
That
Survive.
you got that keep doing what you're doing thing used to drive me nuts, especially coming from people behind mahogany desks, But at the same time, like, it's kind of what I say now.
I know.
When
We're those people now.
I know, dude.
But at least we can share our backstory.
Story.
And maybe those people behind those mahogany desks were just like us. We just didn't know their story.
For sure.
We just didn't know how they got there. We just saw the desk and judged.
Yep.
But still, I hate rich people. But, I still hate them.
Same.
Why do you hate it?
They never had to work for anything. I was reading a story today about how most people born with money, they never have one single, I forget how they define the job, but basically like normal person job. They
Yeah.
have no idea what it's like to actually be in the workforce.
Agreed. I can't stand when they offer their opinions.
And that's crazy
Yeah.
to me.
They tell you how to do things.
And they've never done it.
Anything.
So, okay, look, we could do 3. I'm not kidding. We could do 3 hours.
Is it over?
It's over. but
What? It's already over?
It's over. Like I've got a 3 o'clock. It's already 3 o'clock.
Sorry, dude.
You got it 10 minutes ago. We've only done 10 minutes with you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Do we say anything worth anything?
We hadn't hit record yet. It's the thing either.
Oh,
So
okay.
this has just been warm up.
Nice.
Let me ask you this one
I'm
last
loose
thing.
now. Go.
Because
We'll keep it short.
I want to do it again. We should do this like once every 3 months.
Yeah.
I try to do yours. You had a baby. I get it.
No
Right.
babies can come.
But I like talking with you
I'm
guys.
done
'cause
now.
it's not labor for me
Hopefully.
to talk with you guys.
I feel the same way about you, bro.
I didn't know we were done at
well-
all. We say that a lot, but I really
Well,
didn't know.
look, I'm already 2 minutes late. And I'm never late to anything, but I just want to ask this last question. I know you are late. That's your thing. That's your thing. I'll let that be your thing.
Just
But that's your thing. At least you own it.
what were you gonna ask?
What's the worst thing that's happened on your podcast so far?
Oh man,
worst
I
thing.
almost said something that I shouldn't have said.
Can we talk about the? So Jumps is our producer. She puts the sheets together that otherwise we would just sit in there and talk about music and deer hunting, and nothing would ever. There would be no direction to anything we were talking about.
I'm excited about this because I have no clue.
Yeah, you do. So
Well, I don't right this moment. Though.
So she puts little blips in there, and we're blindly trusting that everything that goes on the sheet is true. Right. So one of the things was, and he's a friend. He's so cool. He wouldn't mind me saying this. Is Jumps puts in there that, should I say their name or no?
No.
Don't say their name.
Yeah.
Okay. This particular person, his daughter loves to fish, right? And so, and over COVID, they had this giant bonding experience, and it's just become her passion, and and it says it right here. And so, in the interview, Reid goes, "So tell me about your daughter and you like bonding over this fishing thing." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, right here where you said this happened. And he's like, "Dude, that's like doesn't exist." So me and Reid,
He's like, my daughter's like okay with fishing, but like most of the time she don't want to go.
so me and Reid are just turn and look at Jumps like, okay. So when that happens, which is it's only like once every 15 episodes, now it's become like a beautiful thing to us. At least there's some enjoyment in it, where we're like, because it just puts you in this spot where it's like, well, figure it out, buddy, because none of that shit's true.
That's prime vulnerability whenever you have to go, yeah, we're really wrong. Obviously, I've done it a bunch of times too where I've just had wrong information.
Yeah.
My move is always just, here's the sheet I was given.
Yeah.
I just hand them the
Yeah,
sheet.
Just throw them under the bus.
And I'm like, no, I'm like, they wrote this for me. I didn't even think it was true either. I just give them the sheet. And then, yeah, it sucks.
what were
That
you going to
sucks.
say?
No, I mean,
I thought the daughter was gonna have died because we've done that before.
no. That's what I said.
no.
That's why I was like,
We've done not
yeah.
with daughter, but with parent. We've done that before.
Like, how's your dad doing? He's like, well, he died a year ago.
Yes, very similar, and that sucks.
Did you leave it in?
It was live.
can't edit those, huh?
Yeah, I can't. Fix that.
I would not. I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would like. Oh, that.
You don't. I'll give you two very tiny stories of just putting my foot in my mouth.
Okay. I don't think we've done that yet, have we? Have we really put our foot in our mouth yet? I don't think we.
It has to be really live. Okay, I'll get two really tiny. One, luckily we were recording, but Sarah Evans was putting out her record, and she sits in the other one of these chairs, and she has her coffee. It's in that, just loaded that chair right there. Boom, falls back. Coffee everywhere. Like
The
The
chair,
chair
just
falls?
goes.
well, I mean, she was leaning back in it. Wipes out.
Oh
And-
my! Were y'all rolling? Do y'all have this? Y'all
we,
weren't.
we have the audio. We
Audio,
played
yeah.
it.
Why was she leaning back in a love seat?
I don't know. But also, these are old, like antique chairs.
That's amazing.
But yeah, she fell hard. I had to make a quick decision. And Sarah's a firecracker.
So what does your brain tell you right
My
now?
Quick decision.
My brain goes, assign yourself to one or the other. You're either
Mhm.
loving and caring and, oh my God, I am so sorry.
Or laughing?
Or you're busting her balls.
No doubt.
Nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
No.
No, you got to jump
There
off
is
the
no-
fence. Yeah.
So I busted the balls. And she's such a firecracker, it worked.
Okay.
Okay.
Congratulations.
And she wiped it. It was humiliating for me, not for her. I felt so bad.
Oh, dude, I would have felt so
right, Mike.
bad.
It was
Yeah,
It was-
I saw like my life flash
it was
before my
really
eyes. She
it
like
felt terrible.
froze frame in my mind right there. Saw a stream of coffee going.
Because again, we didn't say like, "Hey, be careful of the chair," but it also wasn't like a chair that you had to be, So that, and if she wasn't just awesome about it, it'd have been a bad day.
Ugh.
Then she did the whole hour interview. We left all.
Did she have coffee all over?
There was coffee everywhere.
I used to think she was so fine, dude. When
Have
I
you
was
ever
like
been-
listening to music.
You ever been told to shut up on your podcast?
Wendy Williams' husband tried to beat me up after my show once, because so in different ways, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've been jumped outside the building because Wendy Williams was a guest and told me I'll never be her. So
You
stop
got
trying to be
jumped?
like her. Yeah, as a whole next episode.
Dude,
Dang, how you going? That's a
I
good
can't
one.
wait that long.
Let me tell you my other quick story because I'm gonna get killed. I'm
Reid
late.
got told to shut
I'm
up
late. I'm never late. Who'd you get told shut up by?
Do
You not want to say?
somebody?
Artist?
3 times in a row.
Of course.
It was hilarious for me. I was like, yes.
Oh, I'd have been fighting
It was subtle.
verbally. It'd have been like, no, especially if it's at my place, unless I'm a dick, or they interpreted something wrongly that I did, thinking it was
Yeah,
a
but-
dick.
We got to get songs cut by these guys.
Yeah,
But-
there's
I hear you, but I'm talking about if this is your job, you're having to walk a delicate. Good for you guys.
There's a
walk
line.
the delicate line.
There's a line.
Yeah. The other one quickly.
we talk our shit in the parking lot.
Yeah, fair.
Mhm.
And on here. I
Eddie
guess.
and I were doing a Raging Idiot show. We were in Missouri playing theater. It's a wonderful night. Sold a couple thousand tickets. We were touring pretty regularly at the time. Get up, play our funny songs, whatever.
Mhm.
And then we have a point where we have like 4 other band members that come out because we do a lot of 2-man, just straight comedy stuff, right? And
Yeah.
play funny songs and go to the next funny song. Then we have our full band come out and we would do like 4 or 5 songs that we had written that weren't just straight like punchline funny, but fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, like wrote them with like Christian Bush, right?
Yeah.
It's like sensibilities were like fun, poppy.
Totally.
So our band comes out, and the week before, somebody called into the show and said, "Hey, we're coming to your show. My mom, because the girl who called in, the fan was like 30, and her mom was like 60. She goes, my mom is coming, and she has cancer, and she wants to meet you guys." And I'm like, "Great, would love to meet you." She like it's her bucket list item to meet you guys. And so I see her, and I was gonna meet her after the show, but I actually see her. And the girl goes, "We're the ones that you don't talk to, whatever." I do a thing when I'm talking to the crowd.
Mhm.
She goes, "This is my mom. She wanted to meet you." And I'm like, "What, do you want to come on stage?" The mom's like, "Yeah." She's super warm to it. And she comes up, and she looked healthy. I mean, she wasn't healthy because we knew she had cancer,
Mhm.
but there was no reason to think if you hadn't known, you hadn't known.
Yeah, got it.
And I told the story, and I said, "Hey, she called. She's fighting cancer, and I was just being playful." And I said, "What, you want to dance?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." And so I told the band, because we would do a few covers as well. Oh my God, I hate saying
Oh
this
my
story.
gosh, I can feel the blood.
I know.
rushing.
Well,
I don't even know.
It embarrasses me.
Oh,
So again, I have a full band behind me, and I said, hey, just play whatever the next song is on the set list. I said play the next slow song on the set list, just off mic. And I remember one of the guys going, "Are you sure?" Like telling me to look at the set list. And I'm like, "Yeah, just play. We're just gonna slow dance for a little bit." And the music starts, and so does the song. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
get out of here, dude.
And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Get out of here.
It's not warm where she's away. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst thing that could have ever.
Play the next slow song.
And
Did she pick up on it or just?
I don't think so.
Just smooth.
And I
sailed
got
right through it?
and we luckily, if you don't do the I know
Oh,
for 80
yeah.
minutes, because my band also realized at the time, like, oh, I didn't realize what was happening. They did it in like 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Everybody clapped. It was a great moment. I hope it was a great moment for her. And I couldn't stop thinking about it the rest of the show. And I got back to the bus and I was like, I'm the worst.
Oh,
And I was just praying it did not exist and go that some woman is
Yeah.
dying and we play Ain't No Sunshine when she's gone,
Right.
dancing with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like I put everything in my mouth, foot, knee, elbow.
yeah, that's tough.
And I had to, as soon as that first, ain't no, oh my God.
Why? Why?
That's a bad one.
That's
It
a bad
happens.
one.
It happens.
That doesn't happen.
That really
That
does.
does.
That doesn't need to happen
No,
again.
it's all me too,
Yeah.
and I'm the idiot. Okay, I love you guys. Let's commit to doing this in January. Can you do it again? in
Sorry
January?
and thanks.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
Okay, and then after,
Don't cancel on us day of.
I won't be late.
that's okay.
Do our podcast, right?
I
Yeah.
tried.
We
When,
try
when's
again.
when's
But
you
I
doing
will.
our podcast?
We'll reset.
I'm not having a baby.
Why don't you do our podcast in January?
Yeah, I'm not as generous with my responses on other people's podcasts. I'm really great.
Yikes.
Well, that's all about you. So
In January, one way or the other, let's do it again.
I'm
Let's do
ready.
it. All right. We did all the pre-stuff, told everybody where to follow you guys, and you guys keep doing a great job. You're going to be so successful because you're showing up, but that's not why you're going to be successful. You're
Thank you.
showing up, and you're really, again, you're compelling, and that's why you're going to be successful. But there's a lot of compelling people that don't show up,
Oof.
and you guys have both.
What
And
about compelling people that show up late?
you still showed up?
I did. I was
Knowing you were
trying.
going to get kicked right in the
I was
balls the
really
whole
trying.
time.
Yeah, I
too.
knew.
So, all right, good to see you guys.
See you. Bye. Thanks.
Thanks, Bob.